It's the 50th anniversary of the first transatlantic television broadcast by satellite. It was on this day in 1962 that pictures from America were sent via the Telstar satellite to Goonhilly in Cornwall.
Yes, the project led the way and helped bring about the satellite technology we take for granted now. We've just used it to talk to Natalie in Weymouth. Today, though, 300 former Goonhilly staff have been celebrating the anniversary. This report from David George starts with newsreel from the time.
Upon the fantastic dish aerial at Cornwall's Goonhilly Downs focused the interest of the nation. The scientists and the post office engineers were on the threshold of completing an historic experiment.
In just 1 year, the project to transform the old World War II Goonhilly Downs radar station was completed. The satellite Earth station cost £650,000. In the control room 50 years ago, all eyes were on the screens.
The tuning signal appearing. There, clear as a bell indeed, clear as a bell.
Despite being 1 o'clock in the morning, the first ever transatlantic television picture was broadcast live on BBC One.
That desk there is showing the position of the aerial.
Brian Oakes was one of the post office engineers who helped set the whole thing up.
We all felt very relieved, of course, that a piece of equipment which had never been made to work in that way before. It had only received signals from our test station 20-odd miles away on Land's End. And so it was a completely new idea to be able to receive signals, send them back to the satellite and transmit them across the Atlantic.
It surprised me to learn the Telstar satellite was launched just the day before. The Delta rocket wasn't powerful enough to put it into geostationary orbit, where it would stay in the same place in the sky like modern satellites. So the whole 1,100-ton structure of Goonhilly's Aerial 1 had to be able to move to track the satellites as they came over the horizon in the west and then descended in the east. Goonhilly Downs was chosen because it was flat, giving that clear view of the horizon. Its hard rock could take the weight of the huge dish, and as an MOD site, the GPO could buy it. It was all closed down by BT in 2008, but the anniversary is being celebrated by former employees.
From 110 years ago with Marconi and the first radio telegraphy, and then in 50 years ago with Telstar and the first transatlantic television. It's just marvellous. This is all happening in Cornwall. I mean, it's something for Cornwall to be really proud of, and we all feel excited about it.
And there'll soon be a new lease of life for these iconic aerials. £7 million of government money will transform them for use as radio telescopes and for deep space communications. But 50 years ago, they had a different vision.
A few more Telstars in orbit, and we could have all-round-the-clock world TV.
David George, BBC Spotlight, Goonhilly.
It still feels like new technology. It's hard to believe it was 50 years ago. And David tells me that Telstar, the satellite, is still up there, floating around in space 50 years on. Now, back here on Earth, there's no limit. Flame arrives. Natalie will be on the beach at Weymouth. Details to follow next. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.